Well, guess who's back playing games with impeachment again? Yes, it's Al Green, the congressman, not the soul singer. And he's furious that Trump didn't ask permission before bombing Iran's nuclear facilities. That's right. Trump just neutralized a nuclear threat to the world. But Green's throwing a temper tantrum because he wasn't consulted first. This video gets into the absurdity of yet another impeachment stunt by the Democrats. We expose the blatant hypocrisy of it, and we reveal how Trump's strike may have stopped a nuclear nightmare. But what you're going to find out real soon is just how selectively outraged the Democrats really are. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this happened, and honestly, it's so predictable that at this point, I'm starting to wonder if Al Green has impeached Trump on his speed dial. The Democrats are still using impeachment as a cudgel to get rid of a president they don't like. Specifically, Representative Al Green of Texas, you know, the congressman who looks like he belongs on a Geico commercial, is once again trying to impeach President Trump. This time, he's furious that Trump didn't ask Congress before bombing Iran's nuclear sites. Green actually filed an article of impeachment on Tuesday because Trump didn't send him a permission slip. Let that sink in for a moment. We're talking about stopping a nuclear threat, and this guy wants paperwork first. According to the resolution, Trump committed an abuse of presidential powers by disregarding the separation of powers, devolving American democracy into authoritarianism by unconstitutionally usurping Congress's power to declare war. Strong words, right? Sounds more like a grad school thesis than an actual legal argument, but okay, let's give it a watch.
Against Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, in maintenance and support of his impeachment against him for high crimes and misdemeanors. Article 1, abuse of presidential powers by disregarding the separation of powers, devolving American democracy into authoritarianism by unconstitutionally usurping Congress's power to declare war. In his conduct,
the problem is Trump didn't declare war.
Of the office of President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, in violation of his constitutional oath, faithfully to execute the office of President of the United States, and to the best of his ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, and in violation of his constitutional duty to take care that the laws be faithfully executed, abused the powers of the presidency when he disregarded the doctrine of separation of powers by usurping Congress's power to declare war and ordered the United States military to bomb another country without the constitutionally mandated congressional authorization or notice to Congress.
So Green doubled down, claiming President Trump's unilateral, unprovoked use of force without congressional authorization or notice constitutes an abuse of power, and there was no imminent threat to the United States, which facilitates the devolution of American democracy into authoritarianism. Now, that's a real mouthful. Translation, Trump acted without asking, and now democracy is over. Got it? Let's take a second here and think about this logically. Yes, Congress does, in fact, have constitutional authority to declare war. That is in Article 1. But let's not pretend like this is new territory we're exploring here. And the Democrats know it. That's their hypocrisy. Presidents from both parties have launched military strikes without running it past Congress. Obama did it. Bush did it. Biden did it too. Nobody blinked. But now that it's Trump, of course, suddenly it's the end of the republic. Now, let's be crystal clear about what actually happened. Trump didn't declare war on Iran. He launched precision strikes on their nuclear sites, before they could be used to wipe out Israel or hit the U.S. homeland. Iran wasn't building a deterrent for show. They were one step away from handing off suitcase-sized dirty bombs to their terror pals scattered across the Middle East. Or they were going to blackmail every country in the world using their nukes. With a full-fledged nuke, they could have blackmailed the entire planet. Think about that. But Trump neutralized the threat. 3 facilities destroyed, no invasion, no drawn-out war, just decisive action, and suddenly the fighting stopped. Mission accomplished, threat eliminated, peace restored. But apparently, that's impeachable now. Green didn't stop there with his dramatics. He accused Trump of being an authoritarian president and a threat to American democracy. We're not a democracy. We're a republic. This is the same guy who blasted Trump over immigration, judges, and you guessed it, January 6th. It's like Mad Libs with the same 3 accusations every single time. And he finished with this gem. No president has the right to drag this nation into war without authorization of the people's representatives. Unless that president is named Obama, apparently, or Joe Biden, or George W. Bush. And that's where it gets really, really good. You see, Green seems to have developed a very convenient case of selective amnesia when it comes to presidential war powers. Green forgets that both Presidents Barack Obama and Joe Biden have launched military strikes without obtaining new specific approval from Congress, often leaning on broad existing authorizations or claiming defensive necessity. Between 2009 and 2017, President Obama approved, ready, 563 drone strikes across Pakistan, Somalia, and Yemen under the 2001 Authorization for Use of Military Force. Seriously, 563. Let me repeat it again. 563 drone strikes. In 2014, Obama also initiated airstrikes against ISIS in Iraq and Syria without seeking fresh constitutional authorization. Where was Al Green then? Al Green, who's basically been welded to his congressional seat since the Bush administration, somehow managed total silence during those 563 drone strikes under President Obama. President Obama killed 2 American citizens who hadn't even had a trial with drones. Not a word. Not a peep. If we follow Green's logic, then Barack Obama started 563 wars. So where were the fiery speeches about authoritarianism? Where was the impeachment talk? Oh, that's right, missing in action. Because apparently war powers only matter when Trump uses them to actually solve problems instead of creating more of them, right? President Biden followed a similar pattern. Guys, it was only 4 years ago. In 2021, he ordered strikes in Syria and in 2024 in Yemen, both framed as defensive actions and carried out without explicit consent from Congress. Again, crickets from Al Green. The hypocrisy is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Now, the White House response was absolutely perfect. White House spokesperson Taylor Rogers wasn't having any of this nonsense. She defended Trump's foreign policy with a statement that probably made MSNBC staff cry to their mamas. She said President Trump was able to quickly accomplish what no other president has been able to achieve. Thanks to his peace through strength leadership, Iran's nuclear program has been obliterated and a ceasefire has been agreed to. See, a lot of these Democrats ran their mouths on impeachment against Trump for the Iran strikes. And then after that, he got a peace deal between Israel and Iran. Who would have ever thought about that? And then Rogers wrapped it all up in a bow, saying eliminating the prospect of nuclear war is a nonpartisan and unifying accomplishment that everyone should celebrate as a historic moment for the United States, the Middle East, and the entire world. Absolutely. And you know what? She's absolutely right. This should be a moment of celebration, not political theater. Not use impeachment to get rid of a president that you hate. So now we're going to hear from Van Jones, a CNN commentator who was once part of the Obama administration. Jones had to leave that administration because there was a whole bunch of scuttlebutt discovered that he was actually a communist. And when Obama was elected to office, the Democrats hadn't yet openly embraced communism like they have today. Here is Van Jones, a progressive communist, making more sense on CNN than every Democrat in Congress combined. When even Van Jones is calling out the absurdity of your position, you know you've completely gone off the rails. Give it a watch.
I think progressives underestimate how dangerous Iran is. Iran is not a normal country. Normal countries don't blind women because they showed some hair. They don't empower little gangs and proxies to surround a country and fire rockets and rape people.
Van Jones.
So Iran, the two things are clear. The what, they cannot have a bomb, and the why, because they say death to America, death to Israel, and death to all the Jews. One of those should offend you if you're progressives. At least one should offend you. And so the question, though, is the who and the how. Is Israel going to take out this nuclear capacity by dropping people there who blow it up, or is America going to take it out by dropping a bomb that blows it up? But the what and the why are clear, and I think progressives should get on board with that. We cannot have a nuclear-armed Iran.
That was clear and concise, and it came from CNN. So let's sum this up, because the irony here is too perfect to ignore. Trump hits Iran's nuclear sites. Iran backs off. The nukes are gone. There's a ceasefire between Israel and Iran. Never thought it would happen. Mission accomplished. World made safer. Nuclear war prevented. Sounds like success to me, right? How about you? But to some folks in Washington, specifically Al Green, the Geico man, and his merry band of impeachment enthusiasts, that's just one more reason to impeach Trump. Again, because heaven forbid we have a president who actually solves problems instead of creating them. The real question here isn't whether Trump had the authority to act. Presidents have been doing this for decades without a peep from Congress. The real question is why Al Gore thinks his selective outrage is fooling anyone. We see right through it. Al Green has shown exactly what's wrong with our political system today. It's not about principles. It's not about the Constitution. And it's certainly not about protecting democracy. It's about pure partisan politics at its worst. When Obama launched 563 drone strikes, Green was silent. When Biden bombed Syria and Yemen, Green was silent. But when Trump prevents an actual nuclear war and brings peace to the Middle East, suddenly it's an impeachable offense. The bright side, though, the American people are smarter than Al Green thinks they are. We can see through this charade, and we can recognize real leadership when we see it. Trump eliminated a nuclear threat, prevented a potential world war, and brought peace to a region that's been in chaos for decades. That's not impeachable. That's exactly what we elected him to do. All right, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.